Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. Today we're tackling a concept that honestly I think is probably the most underrated secret to achieving anything significant in life. It's simple, but not easy. Winners never miss a day.
Oh, I love this topic, John. It's so true, isn't it? We always hear about these monumental successes, these overnight sensations. But what we don't often see is the grueling, consistent, day in, day out work that went into making those overnight successes actually happen. It's like everyone wants the highlight reel, but nobody wants to film the practice sessions.
Exactly, and that's where the misconception lies. People think winning is about some grand heroic effort, one big moment where everything clicks. But if you look at anyone truly successful, whether it's an athlete, an artist, an entrepreneur, a scientist, it's rarely about that single epic sprint. It's almost always about the sustained, consistent jog, day after day, year after year.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, think about it. You can have the most intense workout of your life one day, totally crush it, feel like a superhero. But if you then skip the gym for 3 weeks, what good was that one intense day? Versus someone who shows up, maybe does a moderate workout, but they do it 4 or 5 times a week, every single week. Who's going to see results?
Precisely. Consistency beats intensity, hands down. It's not even a contest in the long run. The power of compounding isn't just for finances. It applies to habits, skills, knowledge, everything. Every time you show up, you're not just doing that one day's work. You're building upon everything that came before, and you're setting the foundation for everything that comes after.
And it's about creating that momentum, right? Like, once you get that ball rolling, it takes less energy to keep it rolling than it does to try and push it from a dead stop every single time. That's why missing even one day, while it seems small, can actually be pretty detrimental. It breaks that chain, that rhythm you've built.
It absolutely does. And that's the insidious part of it. Your brain, your body, they love routine. When you consistently show up, you're training yourself, implicitly, that this is what we do. When you miss a day, you introduce a crack in that understanding. You send a signal that it's okay to skip, and that signal can become very, very loud very quickly.
Oh, tell me about it. I remember trying to learn a new language a while back. I was doing pretty well, like 15-20 minutes every morning with an app, just building up vocabulary. Then, one morning, I woke up late, rushed out the door, and thought, oh, I'll just do it tonight. Of course, tonight turned into tomorrow, and tomorrow quickly turned into next week, and before I knew it, I'd completely dropped it. The momentum was just gone.
That's such a common story, Angelina. It's not a lack of desire or even ability. It's the break in the chain. And what's crucial to understand is that the days that matter most are often the days you least feel like showing up. Those days when your energy is low, your focus is weak, or distractions are just everywhere. Those are the days when discipline truly shines.
Yeah, because it's easy to show up when you're motivated, when you're feeling good, when everything's going your way. That's not discipline, that's just riding the wave. Discipline is what kicks in when the wave crashes, when you're tired, when you're stressed, when you'd rather do literally anything else but the thing you know you should be doing.
And on those tough days, it doesn't mean you have to perform at peak capacity. It doesn't mean you have to hit a new personal best. The idea isn't perfection, it's presence. Just show up. Even a small effort, a minimal viable dose as some call it, is enough to keep the habit alive. 5 minutes of writing, 1 push-up, reading 1 page. Just don't let the chain break.
That's such a great point, John. I think a lot of people, myself included sometimes, fall into the trap of thinking, if I can't do it perfectly, I might as well not do it at all. It's that all or nothing mentality. But when it comes to consistency, something is always better than nothing. Because that something reinforces the habit, and that's the real win.
Exactly, and it builds confidence, Every time you show up, especially on a day you didn't want to, you're proving to yourself that you are reliable. You're building self-trust. And that self-trust is foundational to doing anything significant in life. If you can't trust yourself to follow through on your own commitments, who can you trust?
That's profound, John. Seriously. I never really thought about it in terms of building self-trust, but it makes so much sense. Every time you push through, even just a little, you're sending a signal to your subconscious that I do what I say I'm going to do. And that compound effect over weeks and months and years must be immense.
It absolutely is. And over time, these repeated actions create real, tangible progress. Your skills improve, your mindset strengthens, and then, naturally, the results start to follow. You don't get good at something by doing it once perfectly. You get good by doing it consistently, even imperfectly, 1,000 times.
It's like learning an instrument, right? You don't become a virtuoso by practicing intensely for 8 hours one day and then not touching the guitar for a month. You become great by picking it up for 30 minutes, an hour, every single day, working through those scales, those chords, those difficult passages. The small, consistent efforts add up to mastery.
Or even writing a book. No one writes a best-selling novel in one sitting. It's a page a day, sometimes a paragraph, sometimes just a sentence. But it's showing up to the page, making that commitment, wrestling with the words even when they're not flowing. That's how it gets done.
And the beauty of it is that it simplifies things. When you commit to never missing a day, you remove the decision-making fatigue. It's not, should I do this today? It's just, this is what I do. It becomes part of your identity, part of your routine. That's a huge energy saver right there.
That's a fantastic point, Angelina. The fewer decisions you have to make about showing up, the more mental energy you save for actually doing the work. It takes the motivation out of the equation and replaces it with automation. You're not waiting to feel motivated, you're just executing on a pre-decided commitment.
Exactly, and sometimes the motivation actually follows the action, doesn't it? Like you drag yourself to the gym, you start moving, and 10 minutes in, you're actually feeling pretty good and you're glad you went. It's like your body and mind catch up to the fact that you showed up.
Absolutely. That's a core psychological principle, actually. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. Most people wait for motivation to strike before they act, but winners understand that if you just start, even a tiny bit, that spark of motivation often ignites.
So what are some practical ways our listeners can apply this, John? Beyond just don't miss a day, how do we actually build that habit and protect that routine, especially when life gets crazy?
Great question. First, identify one key habit or action that if you did it consistently would make the biggest difference in your life or toward your goal. Don't try to do too many things at once. Start with one. Second, define your minimal viable dose for that habit. What's the absolute smallest amount you can do that still counts as showing up? For exercise, maybe it's 5 minutes of stretching. For writing, 1 sentence. Make it so small you can't say no.
I love that. Make it impossible to say no. Because then, on those really tough days, you don't feel the pressure of having to do a full hour workout, you just need to do 5 minutes. And often, those 5 minutes turn into 10 or 20 or even more because you've overcome the initial inertia.
Precisely. And third, be ruthless about protecting that routine. Treat that small commitment as non-negotiable. Schedule it, build it into your day, tell someone about it for accountability. If you absolutely have to miss your usual time, find another slot that day to do your minimal dose. The goal is to keep the streak alive.
That's where the winners never miss a day really comes into play. It's not about being inflexible, it's about being committed to the act of showing up, even if the time or context shifts a little. It's the commitment to the habit itself, not just the ideal execution of the habit.
Exactly. It's understanding that the value isn't just in the output of that single day's effort, but in the reinforcement of the habit itself. Each day you show up, you're not just progressing on your goal, you're also strengthening your identity as someone who follows through, as someone who is disciplined, as a winner.
And that identity shift is so powerful. When you start seeing yourself as someone who doesn't quit, who shows up no matter what, your entire approach to challenges and goals changes. It's no longer a battle of motivation, it's just, this is who I am and what I do.
That's right. And it's important to remember that success isn't about never failing. Everyone fails. Everyone has setbacks. It's about never stopping. It's about getting back on track, picking up that chain again, and continuing to show up.
So, to our listeners, if there's one takeaway from today, it's this. Don't wait for the perfect day, or the perfect mood, or the perfect conditions. Make every day count by simply showing up. Even a tiny step forward is still a step forward. And those tiny steps, taken consistently, will take you further than any giant leap you try to make once in a blue moon.
Absolutely. Stay disciplined, stay consistent. Just show up, because winners don't wait for the perfect day. They make every day count. Thank you, Angelina, for this great conversation.
Thank you, John. It's been a pleasure. And to everyone listening, we hope this inspires you to protect your routine and show up for yourself every single day. You've got this.